So, people are watching, not just because of one person. All right, but they're watching because of me too. Me too. They're playing at LSU. There are people right now, her fans, you know what? Her social media fans.
In the meantime, Caitlin Clark returned like Beyoncé on tour, selling out a 15,000-seat arena in Brazil, Iowa, with fans spending $670 simply to be close to her. Angel Reese attempted to organize a party, but neglected to invite the public, leaving vacant seats, low pricing, and still no attendees. Indeed, people, the Caitlin Clark effect has returned, and it's more significant than your uncle's midlife crisis. Corvette, hold on tight. This level up is so insane that Angel's scoreboard didn't appear.
The Chicago Sky went to LSU and played in a half-empty building. They not only had Angel Reese, they also had Haley Van Lith. They had two players from LSU, but one, largely Angel Reese, who is supposedly so unbelievably beloved in Baton Rouge that you would think that her return to LSU would fill the building.
On the other side of the basketball coin, by coin we mean that cardboard token you get at an arcade when the machine breaks, Caitlin Clark has returned, and all of the scoreboards in the women's basketball universe have suddenly been replaced by a Caitlin Clark fan thermometer. She breathes close to a court, and the arena sells out before she finishes. In a desperate attempt to outdo the attendance of a third-grade recital, Angel Reese's preseason game didn't work out.
Here with you guys today, Angel Reese. Girl, you're my angel, you're my darling. Folks, the Chicago Sky Game 1 of the preseason was underway last night. Angel Reese looked pretty good, but we're gonna get into that momentarily. On the negative side, Angel Reese fans, LSU fans, all of you who tell us, oh my God, what a big superstar.
Yes, the confrontation that wasn't angelic. The best part was that they were practically giving away those tickets. At this point, Angel could have added a meet and greet, a selfie, and a free dinner, but people would still prefer to spend their evening stuck in traffic. Reese arrived for her preseason debut with the swagger of someone expecting a red carpet, only to discover that the carpet had been rolled back up and used as insulation in the ceiling of the half-empty gym.
I've tried to tell you guys, you heard me say it on this channel. A lot of Angel Reese fans are not basketball fans, and they are proving it. They proved it last night without a shadow of a doubt. That was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. You might be like, well, Rhodes, what was so...
However, Caitlin Clark sneezes, and Iowa fans construct a stadium around the tissue. The woman could host a pickup game in a cornfield, and ESPN would broadcast it during prime time. When she returned to Iowa to play Brazil, it was more than just a game. It was an occasion, and the Pope received fewer people. For comparison, the lowest ticket price was $670 American, which is about the cost of a kidney in the underground market, but people gladly paid it. Some fans didn't even enter. Instead, they stood outside the arena like it was Woodstock, hoping to hear her dribble through the concrete.
I don't want to hear ever again anyone ever tell me that there's anyone that's like Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. I don't ever want to hear it again. Nobody. There is nobody like her. I'm not glazing her. I'm telling the truth. I'm not blowing her. I'm telling the truth. She drew over 16,000 people to watch her team play the Brazilian national team at Iowa. Tickets were going for over $600 per the broadcast on the third-party market. The tickets sold out in the blink of an eye. People keep telling us there are other people in the WNBA who have made it matter. People keep telling us there are other players who are so very, very loved.
You have to appreciate the contrast. One performer is almost Coachella in basketball, while the other local garage band is still pleading with the Applebee's manager to allow them to play during happy hour. Reese's preseason game drew so few people that you could have held a family reunion in the bleachers and still had space for a dance floor. Someone even attempted to start a wave, but there was no one to pass it to, so they ended up doing a solo arm stretch. And let's not forget about the beloved Caitlin Clark effect, a phenomenon that is more powerful than gravity at this point. Recall how she packed every arena during her college career like it was the Super Bowl, except that it was only a Tuesday night against Wisconsin. Yes, that's not fading. It's changing now. It's not just about her playing. It's about living in the same zip code as her. It's about being close to greatness. Angel hopes that someone at Target will recognize her.
What was so embarrassing? What was so embarrassing? How about this? Yeah, Caitlin Clark, Soldier. Go follow. Right here. This was last night's attendance. 6,373 fans showed up to watch Angel Reese and Haley Van Lith. And by the way, she did get a very good pop.
People literally camped outside the arena for days just to watch Caitlin Clark play against Brazil. Of all teams, Brazil, a team that, let's be honest, most of the crowd couldn't find on a map, even if you handed them a globe and a highlighter. But did anyone care? Absolutely not. It could have been Brazil, Belarus, or the cast of Dancing with the Stars. As long as Clark was playing, that court was selling out faster than a Taylor Swift concert. Caitlin could have laced up against 5 of those inflatable tube men from a car dealership, you know, the ones flailing like they're being electrocuted, and the arena still would have been packed to the rafters. One fan even admitted to buying a ticket just to hear the squeak of her sneakers on the hardwood floor, not for a highlight reel, not for the buzzer beaters, just the squeak. This isn't just a basketball game anymore. It's not even a sports event. It's a cultural phenomenon. Caitlin Clark has managed to turn warm-ups into must-see TV. She's not just changing the game, she's rewriting the rules. The sport didn't level up, she became the level. So
I think it's time to finally, end the argument. End the argument that there is any sort of other needle mover that is even remotely close to Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. And again, the reason why we've got Haley Van Lith up is because it was Haley Van Lith's return as well as Angel Reese's return. Angel was not the only person. They had 2 players returning. However, right now in Carver, there are no tickets left for under $200.
This isn't Paris Fashion Week, sweetie. It's the WNBA, not the WN Beyonce. If fans wanted to see someone pout and pose, they would scroll through Instagram or watch a replay of America's Next Top Model. They came to watch Caitlin Clark drop dimes, sink logo threes, and casually torch defenders with the kind of precision typically reserved for Navy snipers. She delivers buckets, not just bucket hats and sponsored content. You would think Angel would have picked up on that, but nope. Angel Reese continues to act as though she is the lead in a coming-of-age sports story, but it is more akin to love and bench ball than love and basketball.
Transcendent, oh my goodness, generational, oh my goodness, so on and so forth. You guys do all the talking, all the yapping. Twitter fingers turn to can't even show up and buy ticket fingers. Angel Reese going home to her alma mater, LSU, plays against the Brazilian national team in front of 6,373 people. 6,373 people. This is an arena that holds 13,000 people. We have a CBA negotiation.
So let's run it back. This is the line. This is Scott Agnes. He put pictures up. This is the line from outside the arena to get in for this game. People were, and Caitlin Clark pointed this out in an interview with Holly Rowe, people were tailgating out there like it was the NFL to get in to this arena. We've got more on that. There's Caitlin Clark right there.
This isn't a blockbuster. Rather, it's a low-budget independent film that debuted at a forgotten film festival, received a 9% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and made less money than a third-grade kid's lemonade stand on a rainy day. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is acting as though she has the support of Marvel, headlining the biggest box office hit of the summer, while Angel is still waiting for someone to purchase a ticket to her cinematic failure. Let's face it, if ticket prices are low enough to compete with vending machine snacks and no one shows up, that's not a preseason game. Rather, it's a politely attended rehearsal for disappointment, and you can almost hear the arena murmuring. Where is everyone? Imagine these fans attending Angel's game in groups of 5, not 5 buses, 5 people, while Caitlin Clark's fans were using basketball uniforms to recreate Beatlemania. When Clark returned, there was a rush outside the arena as if Beyoncé and Taylor Swift had created a supergroup and had chosen to play halftime. One was a janitor, 2 were parents who believed this to be a high school recital, and 1 was lost and only needed directions.
Carver is completely sold out. This is what the arena looked like last night to watch LSU. They didn't open the upper bowl. They did not open the upper bowl, and the lower bowl was half empty. It was at under 50% capacity. And obviously, look, the area of the crowd where the TV cameras are being shown was full. But it was under 50% capacity.
To Angel's credit now, no actually, let's not, as we can only award so many participation prizes before it devolves into a full-fledged pity parade. The topic of discussion eventually turns from potential to performance. And no, this isn't about statistics or the number of double-doubles you can fit into a highlight reel. Rather, it's about pull, the kind that grabs attention, sells tickets, and puts people in seats. Caitlin Clark is not just on the court. She is the court itself. She is a walking, dribbling celestial body with her own orbit, and ESPN could reroute satellites around her Angel. She does more than simply play the game. She moves it and bends the arena's attention like gravity. She has the attraction of an unplugged magnet resting in a junk drawer, It's not that she lacks talent. Rather, talent without traction is really a warm-up performance. Let's talk about ticket costs. The cheapest resale tickets for Caitlin were nudging up near $700. People were trading valuable baseball cards from deceased relatives, skipping rent, and mortgaging their futures in order to sit in the rafters and see her do layups.
Caitlin Clark is just different from everyone else, and anyone saying otherwise is lying to themselves. You see it on display as she was finally back on the basketball court. It has been a long time.
However, Angel's game tickets were so inexpensive that you could have won a front row seat with a half-stamped Subway punch card and a wink, and the arena still echoed like an abandoned Food Lion. The only thing more empty than the seats was the energy. So yes, potential is cute, but pull is currency, and Caitlin is printing it while Angel is still searching for the ATM. What does Caitlin do when she hits the court? She conducts a full-blown symphony of chaos, precision, and swagger. Every three-pointer is the crescendo from the moment she sets foot on hardwood. When she pulls up from 30 feet, the place erupts. It's not just noise, it's seismic. The rafters tremble, phones go flying, and fans are already standing up during warm-ups, going crazy over layups and logo shots like they just saw a miracle. The building is already bouncing like it's the Final Four. Every photo she takes is a shared moment of anticipation between thousands of strangers bound together by wonder. She's the storm and the limelight. Even though no one has thrown any confetti, grown adults cry. There's electricity in the air, goosebumps on arms, and confetti in people's hearts.
To show how much they're fans of Angel Reese, they won't put their money where their mouth is, a running theme with the Reese's pieces. And LSU, this person puts it perfectly. LSU, I'm calling y'all out. Angel Reese is back at home, and that should have been a sold-out arena. No excuses.
The game of Angel, to put it simply, the popcorn machine in the back, sounds like a rock concert in comparison to the sound of a pin being dropped in the arena. It's not just fandom, it's veneration. Caitlin is the game that everyone else is just borrowing minutes from. As a cultural force, Caitlin Clark should receive hazardous duty pay from the WNBA for carrying the league's marketing on her back. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is still attempting to figure out how to turn TikTok likes into ticket sales. Apologies, but a thirst trap isn't a quick fix, and the media, oh, they've already made a monument of Clark in their hearts. Gets a few mentions here and there, generally in between an ad for allergy medication and a weather report. Caitlyn's name across the trending tab's headline banner when Angel's name is typed. Did you mean Caitlin Clark? Appears in autocorrect.